What is this?
Just a jar.
It's awfully small.
Huh?
I said it's awfully small.
Yeah, I don't think it was for, well, yeah, I think it's gram size.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
You know. Yeah, you're about to start in a show. It's really easy to see this in the sun. Come on, cloud.
Okay, hard to see.
Yeah, the cloud needs to do its job.
You're telling the cloud it needs to do its job. Huh?
Its job, yes. It has a job in this world.
I think they're doing their job. Oh, I see what you mean. You want it to block the sun out for you.
Yep.
Well, that's going to be off and on, buddy. Off and on. They got a shield that you can get for your computer, you know.
Yeah, I know. I just need it, you know, so I can see people comment. I don't really need to watch it. But it's, you know, so Bruce might swing by while we're doing this. He talked about it. What? It's like the little baby bugs.
From what?
From that deadhead.
Oh.
Alright, click to expand. Somebody's watching.
Someone's always
it.
watching.
Bitch.
Someone's always watching.
That's true.
That's why we're in a simulation, because someone's always watching.
Is it like Matrix type simulation, or are we talking like?
No, it's unimaginable. The Matrix couldn't even imagine what this is. No, but you see, basically, most people do believe we're in a simulation. If you believe in God and religion, you believe we're in a simulation.
Of some sort, I get you.
Yeah, because as far as they're concerned, it's always someone watching us.
Yeah.
God and Santa Claus.
And it was someone else that brought us here. Yeah. Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm. He knows when you've been naughty. He knows when you've been nice.
I mean, they are the same thing to me. Big. Dude, Cloud, why are you going that way? You're a prick.
You call the cloud a prick?
Yeah.
The cloud.
Yes.
Poor cloud.
Well, it went the wrong way. Did you not see it?
I wasn't really looking. And I don't think there's such a thing as a wrong way for a cloud.
Yeah, it was.
It might be a wrong way for you. It might be a wrong way for you, but not for the cloud.
Yeah, for me, I'm the one that's got to feel it.
It is beating right. You know, it's amazing how powerful the sun is. Yeah. It's so far away. I mean, so far away.
And
you can get yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, we're living right on a bubble.
We're like an inch away from total death.
Yeah, you're right. Because if it just got a little hotter, we'd be done. It's like a story I wanted to do. I want to write a science fiction story. Which
my Aunt Chris says hello.
Hey, how you doing? I want to write a science fiction story, but I don't know how to write. So I don't know how to write stories.
What do you mean you don't know how to write?
Stories. You know, there's a way to do it.
No.
Yeah, it is.
What do you mean there's a way to do it?
There's a right way to write and there's a wrong way to write.
Is there?
Yeah, of course there is.
Okay.
And I don't know the right way.
Do you have an idea?
Of course.
Okay, well, you start with a storyboard.
I know that.
Well, you start with brainstorming. You figure out your patterns, which way you want to go, and then you just fill it in from there. And you see, the thing is
oh, you make it sound so easy.
No. Again, it's not, obviously, because you got. But if you can get the general idea down, then it's easier to, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine, because if you start with, okay, like my story idea I had. I don't know if I ever told you. Oh, there was a storm there? Well, I hope you're okay.
Storm where?
I don't know. Oh, she's in Iowa, remember?
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, they had some real strong winds and shit in Iowa, Kansas.
I mean, it's Iowa.
Huh?
to be expected, to be honest.
No, not what they had. They had some. It was damn near hurricane strength winds.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah. That's not usual for them.
So here's my idea for a story. Guys driving home. Dies. Something.
Driving home dies something.
Okay. He's in his 20s, like in between 25 and 35.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, I just a general idea. I've never sat down and actually really brainstormed.
It's in your mind.
Yeah. So he basically, someone dies, and my premise is, the premise of this universe is that there's the soul itself is a energy spark that when you die leaves the vessel that it's in, and then just randomly flies out into the, you know what I'm saying, like light goes through the universe and travels through the universe until it randomly attaches to another being or body, soul, or whatever you want to call it, on a you know what I'm saying, on a different planet, so on and so forth. And you've been doing this since the beginning of the dawn of time, the dawn of the Big Bang, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, well, if that's the theory, then in this world, we'll get to that in a second. In this world, there's a universe like Star Wars, because Star Wars is a galaxy far, far away a long time ago, right? This is all happening in a far, far away place. Same concept. In a far, far away place, there's a species of creature that has figured out what the spark is in consciousness and figured out how to capture it. Not capture it, but wrangle it in, I guess you would say.
Okay.
So this universe, this galaxy or universe, say it's a galaxy, what they put a in my head it was this like barrier around the galaxy, like invisible barrier that tracks and senses these sparks that are souls.
Okay, they're coming in.
When you come in, it doesn't let you, because they figured this out. They figured out how to stay alive forever, in essence, and because of that, there's no need for the sparks to randomly hit their body.
They don't need that.
So they figured they've taken that out by putting this barrier, and what it does instead is it grabs you and it puts you in the last thing you were in, and teaches you about the way the universe really is, in that sense of you're a spark that constantly flies from blah 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 blah, and it lets you and he starts to slowly unlock past creatures or species or whatever you want to call it throughout the millennia of time that he's been sparking around.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he realizes that, you know, his love of his life, his soulmate in his head, whatever you want to be. And again, you can put that twist in there that's a real thing or it's not a real thing. I mean, however you want to do it. But because of that, he's decided to travel the fucking universe to find the spark of his soulmate. You know what I'm saying? Because this place has developed technology that can read sparks. You know what I'm saying? You can bring this thing up and it'll read you and tell you what creatures you've been before, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, okay.
Because you could be on the same planet for, 10,000 years, just randomly, sparking in different things. Like, say, dolphins.
Species.
Yeah, because dolphins might be more intelligent than humans in the greater scheme of things.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know.
You don't know.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, you never saw or read that?
I've seen the movie.
Okay, well, you know how the dolphins lead? Well, the dolphins lead because they're the smartest things on the planet. And they realize what's going to happen, so they like, oh, we're done with this planet. We're going to go on to the next one.
We're booking.
Yeah, we're booked. So...
That's interesting.
So, yeah, it's basically, yes, it is kind of a reincarnation thing, but it's a space story where another galaxy has figured out how to organize the reincarnation. So you can, you know what I'm saying, go into different, like, you can then transfer from spark body to body, make it all vessels instead of fucking, there's no reason for reproducing because there's no random sparks.
Well, it's probably all kind of weird shit out there in the galaxies.
Yeah, but that's the story, and then I would, you go from there and take, like, just try to get lost in it, and don't worry about whether or not it makes sense. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Because the more you try to make it perfect, the first time you write, the less you'll write. And to understand that you're going to write 5 different chapters, and you're going to go over them, you're going to think half of them are shit.
Well,
but it's going to give you ideas to write other chapters that actually might be good.
Yeah, well, see, I don't have that sensibility. I'm going to need a ghostwriter to help me write.
Probably.
Yeah, oh, ain't no problem.
Well, then the way to do that is to come up with the basic idea.
Well, I got
You
the
gotta-
basic idea.
Do you have the start, the middle, the end,
Yeah,
the premise?
I got all of that.
Well, then write down and start looking, because there's people online that'll do that.
A guy already told me he wants to do it for me. I'm just thinking about when and where. But there's a guy that already told me he could do it.
Well, yeah, it's,
But yeah, it's interesting. All the different stories in the Naked City.
in the what?
The Naked City. All the different stories.
Naked City?
Yeah.
What's the Naked City? Is that
Yeah.
your idea?
No,
Oh,
that's an old 1950s police drama called The Naked City. It was about New York back in the 50s. Critically acclaimed type shit, you know. I think it won Emmys and all that.
Emmy. Okay, so she said there was 100-mile-an-hour winds. It scared the shit out of her. Yeah, that would scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And then she says I need to write it. Well, that's not going to happen anytime.
They showed they had cameras, you know, remote cameras, and showed how the wind was blowing. It was blowing cars down, this all kinds of shit, man. It was bad. They're not used to that.
Yeah, they're not used to hurricanes. That's
No.
definitely true.
But see, because they're a plain state, it's a lot of flat land, so if wind gets going really good, there's nothing to stop it. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of mountains and shit.
Yeah, I
like
know.
that.
That's one of the reasons the Dust Bowl happened 100 years ago. Because
Mhm.
they didn't understand that they had to have tree barriers. And there was, what's that thing
Well,
called?
they over-farmed. They over-farmed.
Yeah, they did that too. They didn't understand how the soil worked.
About topsoil and shit.
Yeah.
They didn't realize, you know.
Yeah,
they didn't know.
No, because, and again, it goes back to the point the government said, well, just go do it.
Yeah.
No training. No, just go do it.
They had what they call land grabs.
Yep. You're
Right.
just allowed to go get it.
You just ran out there and
Mhm.
put your stake in the ground. You can do that in Alaska today.
Still?
Yeah, in Alaska, you can go out to they have designated areas. You have to, go to them and find out where the designated areas are. But you can do what they call homesteading.
I think that's what my uncle did.
Yeah, you can do homesteading. Now, I might be wrong about these figures, but I think if you could fence off like 100 acres or something and keep it, pristine and maybe even make money with it, after a period of time, it becomes yours. In other words, it's free.
Yeah, I know. That was the Homestead Act in the 1800s, which is one of the arguments. Because one of the arguments that the crazy fucking libertarian assholes have is that if you get free stuff, you become a wasteful person. And it's like, well, are you going to take away the wealth of all the people who got free land?
That's I'm not gonna say that's crazy. I can see where that, to some people, that will have relevance. But basically, everybody, at one time or another,
Got something.
yeah, they had help from something.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was their dad or the government or an aunt or a priest or a policeman or just a entrepreneur.
Or just a random person.
Yeah.
You know, I gave this dude a quarter pound of weed when weed was selling at $2.75 an ounce. So I said, I'll give it to you for $2.25, but you have to go sell it and then take the money and pay the power bill. Right? That way, because the power bill was in his brother's name. He's like, well, he didn't give me any money, and he never paid the fucking power bill. So the power got shut off one day. And I didn't know, because again,
Right.
as far as I know, he's paid it.
Yeah. You think it's been taken care of?
Yeah. And they show up one day and they're like, knock, knock, knock. Hey, yeah, we're going to blah, blah, blah. And they just walk back to the pole,
It's snatched.
unhook that bitch at the pole.
Mm-hmm.
So when I called them, and again, at this time I had converted most of my shit over to hydro. So, like, all pumps.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way I can run everything on fucking...
No way.
I called DTE to get it put in my name. And they're like, okay, but you're looking at 2 weeks before we can get a crew out there to hook it back up.
Damn.
Yeah. So I was done. I figured I had to go back to work at ER. I was
Damn.
this dream I had of growing cannabis was over.
Done.
Well,
Kaput.
I mean, I didn't have enough money to pay for the gas.
And you didn't see how.
Yeah, and I can't imagine, like, being able to run a fucking generator for 2 weeks when everyone else has power. Because I've already done it before. I've already had power shut off for like 4 or 5 days. Sometimes because of power outages.
Right.
Other times because I just couldn't afford to pay the
Couldn't pay
fucking
the
bill.
bill.
So, but this is 2 weeks. Like, this is a completely different story.
Yeah, that's a long time.
That's a lot of gas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because you got to have it running all the time. The pumps have to have water.
Yep.
It's not like if I had dirt, it'd been a little bit simpler because then the lights aren't on at a certain point, so I can shut the pumps. Or, you know,
Right.
I don't have to run it at night at least.
No, hydro takes more. Yeah.
Yeah. So
If you're doing it right.
about 2 hours later, after I'm like, just I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to figure it out, but I'm fucked. This dude someone knocks on the door. He's like, I heard you need your power turned back on. I'm like, yeah. He goes, okay.
You went out there, hooked it back up to the pole.
Climbed up, hooked it. Some random guy that happened to know somebody my brother-in-law knew.
Yeah.
Just showed the fuck up on his way to on his way back to the shop.
And hooked it up.
Hooked me back up. And because of that, Because of that, I was able to fucking
MJ, good job being a guard dog.
keep going.
Yeah.
You know, careful, lady.
Yeah. And if that guy hadn't been around, or came by, or somebody told him about it, you'd have been up Shit's Creek.
Okay.
So I'm leaving my company and starting a new job.
You doing what?
Starting a new company. I'm not going to talk about it if we're going on camera.
We're already on camera.
Oh.
Never mind. Just
Yeah, I
kidding.
understand that.
Well,
Some changes being made.
you
That's
ain't tagged in this shit.
Huh?
I said you ain't tagged in it.
I know there's one guy at my office who watches it,
Really?
potentially.
The guy that
Matt, he wants to. Yeah, he's like trying to.
was he okay with the stuff?
Yeah.
He was.
He's
Wants
just a bitch, dude. He's just fuck you if you're watching this. He's just a bitch.
Oh no! Fuck you if you're watching this.
He's just like nice guy, but he just has this elitist attitude of weed. But like, dude, you grow shitty weed in your basement. No offense. Like,
Dude, everyone feels like that. And I'm not. You can't be mad at somebody for that because that's just a natural tendency of humans. I think my weed's better than everyone else's.
Yeah, but sometimes it's right, and sometimes it's not.
No, it's always right in your opinion because taste of weed is totally an opinion thing.
In your opinion.
Exactly. Well, the point is, but it goes back to the point. In his mind, every time he smokes his, it's the best thing he's ever smoked.
Yeah.
Every time I smoke mine, it's the best. There's not much.
Yeah,
that
but I don't think
smoke.
you believe in that. I don't think you believe that literally, like
No.
some people might. No,
No.
you don't, because you know better.
No, but I
But
do
you-
know I'm top 25.
Oh, no, you're in the box. I'm not saying you're not in the box. Don't get me wrong.
I know, but
But
I
you don't have
understand.
that
But I
elitist
also have
attitude.
But I also have that Bruce Lee and other fucking fighter attitude that there's always going to be a bigger person.
So wait,
my car and get the sweatshirt.
always.
You're cold?
Dude, something's wrong with in 85 degrees. I've been wearing hoodies.
Better get your blood.
Like, I'm shaking. I have one hand right now.
Wow. But yeah, the mindset of knowing that there's going to be someone who's bigger than you and tougher than you, someone who
Always.
puts in more work than you.
Always.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, you could be at the top and think you're going to be there forever, but sooner or later, that guy's going to come along or that girl's going to come along.
at some point, every record's broken.
Every record. That's what on these sports stations guys say. Oh, nobody will ever break that record. Wrong.
Someone will at some
Every
point.
record that ever been made has been broken at one time or another.
Why the record? It just may take years.
Yeah. In some cases, it takes years.
Yeah.
In some cases, it happens quickly.
Recently, yeah. Because, like, if you think about the home run record in baseball, it was 60s? 60s?
You're talking about like Roger Maris and all those guys, right?
Oh, you don't know baseball, do you?
Yeah, but you're talking about the home run hitting guy.
Yeah, yes.
What was one of them Roger Maris? He was one of them.
He's the one that had the
Mickey
record.
Mantle?
No. It was Babe Ruth
Ken
was
Griffey.
61. No. Babe Ruth was 61. Then Roger Maris broke it in the 60s with 62 home runs. And then it stood the test of time until McGuire broke it in 97.
Yeah, I remember him.
And it was
That-
him versus Sammy Sosa.
Him and
They were
Sammy
racing.
Sosa and McGuire broke it first.
and
And
they
they
were
both
both
They both
steroided.
broke the record.
And they were both steroided up.
fuck yeah, they
Oh
were.
yeah,
They were steroided up, dude.
Steroids is an understatement.
'Cause those guys look like walls with arms. The fuck?
I'm just making sure.
We're
But-
live right now.
Yeah, we're live.
I hope we are. I hope we're not dead right now.
That's
Unless
true.
it's all a simulation. but-
It is.
He already says it is. He's
It
been going
is.
on that.
Listen, I don't doubt it.
It, I'm
That's
almost,
even more reason to bite into crypto, because if it's a simulation, then that money's going to be here to stay.
I'm almost
At
sure.
some
it
point,
is.
we're going to get to that. You know,
We're still in.
a global currency.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's
that's
gonna
what.
happen.
Yeah.
You know it's gonna happen.
It'll happen before I
In
die.
fact, you know what? Eventually, there won't be currency at all.
No, that's.
Eventually,
What do
there
you
won't be any
mean?
currency.
Pass that down. What do you mean? There won't be any currency.
There won't. There won't be any need for it,
You mean actual cash?
or credit card, or something that you would.
Oh, pass back and forth.
Yeah,
Oh, I get what you're saying. Once they get to a point, once they realize that we don't live in a world of fucking, what's it called? Famine, not famine. Scarcity. Once we get out of that scarcity mindset, then we can fucking start to understand that there's enough fruits and vegetables
see,
for everyone.
a lot of the third world countries in the next 5 to 10 years are going to catch up with us because they're growing like unbelievable.
Yeah.
China, and
China
then
is
Africa.
pushing, it's not even China. China's pushing them.
China, India, and Africa are growing like
And
crazy.
the difference between China and us is we went in and just said, give us the resources and took them. They're going in and saying, no, we'll build you your own fucking shit to take your own resources out of the country. But now you're enholden to us because you
Yeah.
owe us so much money.
Yeah, they're the African guys. That's one of the biggest guys on telecommunication in Africa. He's like a billionaire, and he was saying, and the American reporter was talking to him,
Almost.
and the
I got
American
it.
reporter said, "Well, you got all these Chinese guys, here building schools and highways, and they're gonna take over." He said, "No, no, no."
No.
He says, "No, no, no." He says, "We know what's going on." He says, "We're ready for it."
Well, it's
Whatever
not
that
even
means.
about being ready for it. It's just about China is such a big market. If you have a resource, you have no choice. You know what I'm saying? You,
Oh, yeah.
like, the market, because their middle class is good. They're Xi Jinping or whatever the fuck. Winnie the Pooh. We'll call him Winnie the Pooh. So that way we get banned in fucking China.
Better than
We're
going.
not on TikTok.
That's
right
better than going
now.
to jail. That's better than going to jail in China.
No, it's not jail. It's
Camp. Education camp.
Education camp.
Re-education.
They teach you to be Chinese and think Chinese.
You know
Kinda
what
weed is
though?
this?
It's scraps from the Deadhead.
I like it.
Yeah, I know.
Say it's really good.
Well, it's weird because you have to really look at stuff like that through a
Fits my
filter.
flavor profile.
You have to look at stuff like that through a filter.
Yeah,
Because
because
how much
it
is
a filter.
propaganda and how much is true?
From both sides.
Exactly.
Because our side is not letting you see the
That's
truth.
what I'm saying.
They don't want you to think communism is an actual
It's
workable
it's a good
product.
thing.
Yeah.
In any sense of the word.
It's one of the reasons they've done so much. Wow.
You all right
Anyway.
over there?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
I didn't smoke on the way down, so I'm completely sober when I showed up,
So
which is rare.
that's my theory is that, like he said, global is the China market's going to control more than anybody even realizes. Compared to us, it's like
But
3 times the size.
yeah, but you know what? Communism is gonna fade away.
Is it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. when the average Chinese in the villages and all that stuff see how freedom is.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, but Winnie the Pooh, because remember, Winnie the Pooh's been elected. Winnie the Pooh was, I know. Well, again, so was Donald Trump. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but no.
he was definitely elected.
Yeah,
He
but
was, according to the way they do it now, he's elected.
He was elected. It was cheated,
It might have been cheated.
potentially.
It was
I
no
won't
bite.
go there.
What no night?
But he was elected.
You would just, again,
Like
in
Putin.
China, but if you're in China,
Yeah.
you think the same thing about
He
us.
wasn't elected. He elected himself.
You think the same thing. I don't think our elections are fucking anywhere close to fair. They're rigged by the fucking elite. It's two elite classes battling each other. So anyway,
Rigged by the
Winnie the
elite.
Pooh, it is rigged by the elite. It's a Democrat elite and a Republican elite. You have one side like so the Republicans always go after bash the fucking
And we know this, right?
what?
About this elite thing you're talking about.
Do we know what? I don't know anything.
I mean, well, people are talking about it. So is it real?
I would agree with it. It's just if you track things like where did investments go, who bought out insurance policies. Like the guy who owns the trade centers bought out insurance policies on them right before they got bumped into and just happened to not be there that day.
And they say Nancy Pelosi's worth $200 million.
That's not surprising.
They all got money.
They all come from money. They're all fucking trust fund kids that are fucking born into this situation.
It's like, dude, I'm middle class, but I was born into it. The only reason I have middle class.
I mean, again, yeah, that is an issue in this country. It's like 7%.
No,
It's
I'm
a
just
7%.
saying, if they were born rich, if you're born in that elite 1%, that's why Donald Trump's kids, you hear from them as much as Donald Trump. Like, they were born into that role.
Yeah. The people look at him as if he has some kind of knowledge, not taking into consideration that he's probably never passed a class on his own.
But you have different kind of rich
well,
people, too.
maybe Donald Trump Jr. might have.
I mean, I know rich people that you wouldn't even know they were rich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't broadcast it, but they're filthy rich.
Yeah, but again, that doesn't mean they don't use their power for influence. It's a country based on power, money.
Some people
Yeah.
have money, they just don't give a shit about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. People like there's a
If
lot
I
of
won the lottery, if I won like a mega lottery, I'd give away a bunch of the money, but I don't think it'd be to charities as much as it'd just be to my friends.
Yeah.
Like, here's $1 million.
same thing.
Go
It
do
wouldn't even
something
be
powerful, really.
after a while. It wouldn't even be my friends. It
Don't
would just
blow
be
it on anything,
random
go do
people.
something
Go
good.
do something good.
Find someone who needs their house, like
Student loans, boom, paid off.
Student
you want a
loans,
house, boom. Your car,
electricity
you want it
bills.
updated, boom.
Find all the electricity bills I can of people who are lower income that are fucking can't pay their bills because they're too much. All the tax thing, because like the whole tax system set up to fucking take your
But
house.
see, that's
What?
fairy tale type shit.
No shit. That's what he just said. Won the lottery.
Yeah, but people are weird, man. You can't help everybody.
No.
You want to help everybody.
No, that's
For
not
some
true.
people-
See, that's where I don't think people understand. You grew up in a world where there wasn't a fucking McDonald's in every corner. Okay? You grew up in a world where every area didn't have food to feed the whole population times 10. So, I didn't. Since I've been a child, there's been McDonald's on every corner. Burger King in every city. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't a Burger King, it was
we
a Taco
have
Bell.
McDonald's and Burger King.
Where'd you
Nah,
go?
They weren't they weren't right immediately in the neighborhood.
Again,
You're
well,
at the
we're
go
talking.
somewhere.
Well,
Where did
we're
you grow up?
talking
What
now.
city?
He grew up in
Detroit.
Detroit.
Detroit. Okay.
Yeah, on
That just sounds like Flint. I don't know why.
The first few years I lived on the east side near Belle Isle. Then, as my father prospered more, he bought houses over here on the northwest side.
but shit, lost my train of thought again.
Shit,
It's good weed.
shit.
I don't know. I mean, it's a different world. We have enough. McDonald's could have made choices to make the food healthier and made it less, you know what I'm saying, shit, and fed the population with food that actually gets it moving. But they don't. Again,
But they've changed too. I think when they first opened, they were a little healthier.
yeah,
It was better quality.
it was a lot
And
better.
as time
quality.
went by, that deteriorated.
Yep, and a lot of that had to do with like the one study about fat and all these different
Yep,
things.
yep.
And that shit was put up there by companies so they could actually justify cutting corners.
Because you can't believe most of the stuff you read on these labels.
You think the labels are off completely?
Not completely.
I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think you would be able, like. To be honest with you, if you're buying something that's Tyson, there's no one checking them.
But it might be certain things in there that do not tell you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's no one actually checking these companies, so they're just putting on what they think they have to put
There's
on.
people checking them even less now since all the regulations have been taken away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With Trump in office, they've been checking a
What
lot
a
less.
nutball, man. What a fucking nutball.
Unbelievable.
Jesus Christ. And the stuff he's trying to do now is just outrageous. Just
But the posters.
Well, again, okay, so I just heard this dude talking.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
The unfortunate part, here's the shitty part of reality, is I had to ask you that because there's so many people alive right now that have no idea that's going on.
Hold on.
That's crazy.
But if you listen to this, like I listened to this one dude talk about that postal shit, and he's like, yes, there was issues with the Republicans and what they did in the past, but I guess Trump didn't appoint that guy. He's appointed by somebody else, like a completely different commission, and appoints the Postmaster General, and he was actually appointed it because he's in logistics,
No.
and all this shit he's supposedly doing is
No,
actually.
that's all wrong.
But supposedly there's no connection between Trump and the guy that's running it.
Yes, it is. He's a contributor to his.
I understand that, but
that's the connection.
But Trump didn't have a way to put him in. Trump can't go, here you go, because it's a committee, a separate committee with two Republicans,
Trump told
Democrat,
the committee
and-
what to do.
He can't tell a Democrat what to do.
Well, how many?
That's
are
true. I guess
Republicans-
he didn't say how many people were on the committee.
Exactly.
Because if it was two Republicans and one Democrat, then
Come
I guess
on,
what the
man.
Democrat
He
said
can
didn't
say
matter.
anything he wants to. There might not even be a committee.
That's
the
true.
committee might be him,
Yep.
his daughter,
Yep.
Jared Kushner.
No, it's not him. It was another guy talking about
Yeah,
it.
but the guy.
Cool, and add that guy. He's in the committee. Like,
But let's be realistic. Mail's been on time. Nobody's really super mad about it. But now all of a sudden there's a problem.
Yeah, well,
the problem is mailing.
Well, no, the problem is the Republicans made the post office pay for benefits
that
up
is
front
definitely a
for
problem.
the next 75 years. Did you know that? Several billion
Oh, you didn't know
dollars.
that?
Several
In
billion
2006, they passed this thing that made the post office had to pay for pensions
pension benefits
for up to 75 years ahead of time.
People
So
that
they're paying for they've saved up money for pensions for people that aren't
ain't even born yet.
And they got rid of it?
No, that's what they have to do.
Oh,
The
shit.
Republicans
made them do it.
So that's why one of the reasons they haven't been solvent
Yeah.
is because they're constantly putting money up front to make sure that people for 75 years are covered. So if they hadn't had that, again, they wouldn't have made a lot of profit, but they would have been solvent.
But they wouldn't have this problem
Yes.
that they're claiming they have.
Yep. So
But
again, the Republicans have been trying to make it private forever because the Republicans are funded by FedEx and UPS. And what are keeping FedEx and UPS from charging $8 for a fucking stamp to be, you know what I'm saying?
Trump's
UPS.
just trying to stay out of jail as long as he can. 'Cause
I'm
he's
telling
going
you,
to
he
jail.
ain't going to jail.
I'll
That
bet-
dude will die before he goes to jail.
well, same difference.
But he's never going to get convicted.
Same difference.
That's what I think.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I think his kids might go to jail. Like, they probably can find some shit on Ivanka and fucking
Dude, you want to hear some crazy
Jared?
shit?
Yeah.
If you live in a simulation, I'm going to see if I can find this. It's about Donald Trump being the Antichrist.
What?
Dude, okay, I read it. I'm going to just read it to you because I read it and started laughing at first. But by the end of it, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
But then I'm thinking about it. I'm almost. Come on, where is it? I sent it to my wife.
That's crazy.
I'm watching it. And I'm like, dude, this is Jared Kushner. Like straight up, his son-in-law could be the Antichrist.
He looks like it. He looks like
Yeah.
it.
I think he's setting up Ivanka for 2024.
No.
You think he's going to
Trumps
try to
are
run
done.
again?
Trumps are done.
No, I don't think so.
Oh yeah.
I think
done.
even if he loses, he's still going to he's
Done.
going to campaign like he did when he was
Done.
president,
But he's done.
and he's going to try to rerun. And
No.
the Republicans
he's
aren't
not.
going to be able to stop
No.
him.
God damn, I want to find it so bad.
His base is too big.
No, that ain't gonna happen.
I'm telling you, man.
He's done.
I still think there's a chance he wins.
It's a possibility.
I think he
If
will.
you cheat good, you win.
It's not even
You
about
know,
cheating. The system's set up for this to happen.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's already happened. Again,
There's a movement.
in my lifetime,
Yeah, but see, in my lifetime, and I've seen more than you have. I have never seen what has gone on this year with the movement.
with the Black Lives Matter.
The millions of people that came out. Millions.
Yeah.
Not thousands, like Trump rallies. Millions. Black, white,
Everywhere.
Hispanic,
Every country.
there's a movement going on.
I know. And when movements happens,
And the
the
conservatives,
side that's being fucking moved also fights back.
well, the conservatives have had their turn. It's time for the liberals to have a few years. That's how this thing goes. It goes in cycles.
I don't know. We could get bad both ways.
There's a bunch of shit on here about him being Antichrist.
I'm sure it
We could
is.
be fucking.
But
we could,
I'm not gonna go fishing. I'll text Elise and I'll see if she can see me.
Handmaid's Tale. You haven't seen this, right? It's a TV show. It's called Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, I've watched the whole thing.
You have, but he has. So I've only seen a couple episodes because honestly I don't want to watch it. It fucking pisses me off, and dude, it's too. To me, this is what I worry about. You know what I'm saying? My concern, like, is that the right is getting this passed that there's no evil, no matter how far right you go. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is that that's what could happen if religion gets its footholds. Like Christianity is kind of like people have this push, like especially the people who are half-ass Christians that just do it because.
Half-ass Christians.
Well, you know what I mean. They
Yeah,
go to
I
fucking
know.
Easter and maybe every Christmas.
They go to church on Sunday.
No, not even go every Sunday.
Or they
Most people
believe in
don't.
Jesus.
Yeah, they believe in all that shit, but
And most of them do go to church on Sunday. Or something like church. And from Monday to Saturday, they're racist, they're homophobes. all
they are
crazy.
when they're in church too. They don't change when you get in there.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
No, they just listen for the
They get
racist,
what-
homophobic parts of
They
the
get
fucking
the
Bible
Holy
and they get
Ghost,
happy.
dude. They get that Holy Ghost.
Right, which is one of the reasons they're racist and homophobic. I don't think most people would be racist or homophobic if Christianity was not the dominant thing here. I don't. I
You're
think
right.
Christianity.
No, you're absolutely right.
And it's not just Christianity. It
Yeah,
also
it
it also happens
Yeah.
in fucking all the Jacobs.
Yeah,
Anything? What? No, not Abraham.
Abraham.
All the religion of Abraham
Yeah.
have
Because
some
that-
kind of anti someone
Jacob
else.
straight up got abducted by a UFO.
see, that's
Yeah.
that's the point right there.
Jason or Jacob's Ladder.
That's the point right there.
Jacob's oh yeah, that's a
Like
good
even,
movie, man.
I mean, if you
Gospel
think
of
about
Thomas?
if you think about what Christians believe, and Muslims too, there is a simulation. There's somebody
Yes.
looking over us.
Yeah.
There's somebody controlling us.
That's what I'm saying. Thomas, if you read the Gospel of Thomas, which they found over by the Dead Sea Scrolls,
Scrolls.
he basically preaches reincarnation. And he just keeps saying, like, this isn't over. Like, once we die, in order to get to level 2, you have to do X,
You
X,
gotta go through so much stuff.
But one of the reasons the Gospel of Thomas was let out is Thomas said you don't just get in for belief, because you have to earn your slot.
Or when you die, you're dead. It ain't nothing else.
So
Maybe.
in the Gospel of Thomas, Thomas said they were called him Doubting Thomas.
Right.
Because he always
That's where it
questioned
came from.
He goes up to Jesus, and this is right out of his own texts. And he goes, Jesus, like, I want some answers, whatever the fuck it was. Jesus said, I'm going to tell you 3 things, but I need to tell you privately. I pulls him outside because he doesn't want anybody else to know. Jesus tells him 3 things. One of the apostles sees it and goes up to him and goes, hey, what just happened? He goes, Jesus just told me 3 things, but I'm not allowed to tell
anybody.
Anyway. He goes, why not? And he goes, because if I told you, you'd kill yourself. And that is literally out of his text. You would kill yourself. if you knew the answer. And like that can be interpreted in so many
Sure,
ways.
it can.
Is that a good thing?
Negative or positive.
You would want to just end it and see what happens after, or
Mhm.
Can I get a glass of water?
Yeah, no.
You try to control the change.
There's ice in the freezer. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a bad written book. It wasn't very fun to read,
Well,
and
it's a fable. That's what it is.
yeah, it's definitely a look at what could have been in that area,
Because I mean,
but to take it as
Right.
history itself.
well, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm saying like part of the problem in this area is people take that as the only history there is,
Literally,
and
yeah.
don't ever consider the rest of the
Other
fucking
things.
planet that was happening at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's probably a quarter of the population on the planet. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of people here before the 1600s. There was talks that there was a good portion of population here before the first settlers from England came, or not England, but settlers from the Europe or whatever that in that area came over and brought. Because again, the Vikings were there first,
That's what they say.
but the Vikings didn't have. I don't think the Vikings had the diseases that the Europeans had. In that sense, maybe they did. Maybe they're the ones that
Well,
started
they're
the wipeout.
European.
Yeah,
They're
but they're
European.
Northern European.
Yeah, they're
Because viruses and diseases and stuff like that are easier to develop in.
So
in
what happened to the
southern places.
Vikings?
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't fucking know. They're still around. There's still Vikings up there. There's still people who are,
Descendants of
Descendants,
them.
but-
Yeah, but I mean that Viking way of life.
yeah, at some point ended. They stopped fucking raping and pillaging,
Rape.
torturing people.
That's horrible. What a horrible way to live.
We've been a horrible fucking. But
I am
like, me and Cut constantly argue about this whole. Like he's okay with. Just okay with the way it is, and like hates when I argue against stuff.
That's a pushover, man. You're not seeking to better yourself or better your existence or hope.
Not
for
even
better.
just my existence. That's not happiness. Happiness is when you're bettering everyone else around you's existence. That's you find more happiness in that than you do
He
your own selfishness.
Cut was born too late. He should have been born about 100 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a good way to look
yeah, I know. I know. That's because he was raised by people that were born 100 years ago.
at it. That were what?
That were born 100 years ago. He was raised by his grandparents
No.
who were fucking born, like lived through the Great Depression
He was
and shit.
old. That explains a lot.
Yeah, both his great and his kid and he his mom and the family, like, it's crazy because his mom and the family had money. Like, grandparents had money. Like, grandpa owned the fucking hardware store at 8 Mile fucking 75 right there, Stevenson. So, like, he did well, and the kids just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I guess they just, and again, they're also 60s kids and 70s kids. Like, there's a lot of that, generation that were just like, why? Why do I want to keep doing what you do all the time? You hate your life.
Yeah.
But I'm supposed to live like that? So,
Yeah, real stiff.
or they partied too and they blew money. They were just, like, his mom was, I guess, dumb with her money. It was like, was she dumb or did she just take chances and made mistakes?
Probably both.
Both.
Probably.
A lot of people fucking make mistakes. It's not
It's human.
just what happens.
It's human.
Yeah.
You just try to make as few as possible.
True. Well, no, you don't even try to make it as few as possible. That's not the idea either. The idea is to learn from it.
Well, same thing.
No. 'Cause
The more you learn,
the more
fewer-
stuff, more new things you do, the more mistakes you're going to make. And it's better to do new things. It's better for you to do things that are hard for you than just to do the same fucking one activity over and over again. Because your brain learns more when you're
see,
actually
you're-
testing it.
You're talking with a young man's brain.
I'm not talking with anyone's brain.
No,
you
you're
can
not.
do it too, motherfucker.
You're talking with a young man's brain. You think different later on.
No, it's not about thinking different. It's about how the brain works. If you work the brain, if you do hard things, you work parts of the brain that aren't being hit. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? It's like it's a muscle in the same way your fucking legs are. If you get up every day, and obviously, it's different when you get to a certain age, but if you keep doing exercises with it, which is hard stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you don't have to have legs or arms for your brain to be operating.
That's my point. And your brain can constantly be working out. Even if your legs and arms don't work,
Oh,
you can constantly do hard things with your brain and work
I
it.
don't think your brain sleeps. It doesn't sleep. Your body sleeps. Your brain doesn't. Your brain is
It
constantly.
can't sleep. If it slept, if it turned off, you would die.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Well, you wouldn't die.
Oh.
Done it before.
Yeah, you wouldn't die. But you'd be in a state though.
So I had to have a WADA test, which is they run through your
Current?
groin, tube all the way your artery, and then it connects to the back of your head, and they shut down half your brain. So I
Wow.
operated, no painkillers. This is what sucked. It's the most pain I've ever been in. It was more pain than the brain surgery. Is having that thing shoved up because
I
you
can
can't
imagine.
take anything for
Yeah.
painkillers
Yeah.
because they need you operating at 100% when they shut
Mm.
your brain down.
Ooh.
So they shut down the right side of my brain. It was pretty legit. It's like I could operate with half of a brain. It was just a little bit slower.
Mm-hmm.
They shut down the left side of my brain, and dude, it was a fucking trip. It was just an absolute trip. Things just made sense. Some things just didn't. You're sitting there, your mind operates at a completely different
Different.
space,
Yeah.
but you can't talk because the part of your
Oh.
brain that produces
Speech.
speech
Yeah.
isn't working.
Yeah.
So you're mentally just so fucked in your head because you're speaking in your head, but you don't know how to operate with your lips.
Wow.
And so they were showing me items, and they were like, "Can you say this? Can you say this?" And they would show you like keys, glass. And they showed me a can of Coke. They showed me a pink ball. And the only one of like the 30 they showed me, maybe like 15 they showed me. I'd say 15 they showed me that I could say is ball. And it took them like a good 2 minutes to course that out of me.
Wow.
Anyway, then when it's over, they turn my brain back on. They show me all these items, but they show me probably 30 or 40 different items. And they go, tell us whether or not we showed this to you on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident. I got every one of them. I just said 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Zero, what, didn't see it, didn't see it, didn't see it, 10, 10, 10. The only one that I got, put a 5 on, was a can of Coca-Cola, because I don't remember if it was, because I wasn't paying attention, like a full can or not, but the one they showed me was a crushed can.
Oh.
And I didn't know if it was a full or crushed and how they were trying to fuck with my already
That's
fucking
crazy.
brain.
That's crazy.
Damn.
Go break, that would be wild.
So, when they opened your... What I'm trying to say. Could you feel when they were doing stuff? Could you feel it? Were they dead in that area?
Yeah, I can feel it right now.
No, he's saying when they were playing around in there.
Oh no, I was out like a fucking light.
Because I saw something on TV, and they had this guy's head open, and they were doing stuff, and he was playing a guitar when they were doing it.
Oh yeah,
That's
They're-
crazy.
they're testing his rotary function. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's why he has a brain grid going. And I had one of those. So they insert literally a grid on your head that can shock you in different parts. So they'll put you down and they'll wake you up mid-surgery. And they'll say, do something you just know how to do.
Ah.
And so they give him a guitar, which is all pure muscle memory. And can he or can he not? So if he's sitting there looking at it confused,
Uh-huh.
but he's completely coherent. And
Yeah.
you're like,
He was
"Thanks for
playing it.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Thanks for waking up. Going back to sleep now.
You never saw Hannibal, did you?
I don't like movies like that. No, I never have.
There's a scene where he's got Ray Liotta. And he's got his head actually like, he just takes it off, cuts out a chunk of it, and cooks it for him right there.
Oh, I saw
and then
a
feeds
comedy
it to him.
sketch about that.
A comedy sketch about that actual scene? Yeah, it was probably. But yeah, that was a fucked up scene right
Movie
there.
was that I saw that in? Some fava beans and shit. In fact, they took, what's that guy's name? Beetlejuice. The black guy, Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
That's what they did to him in
What?
this movie.
Oh yeah. I think it was a Scary Movie or some shit.
It's one of those.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a big Beetlejuice fan, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a weird one.
He's
Is he
weird.
still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive.
I haven't seen Beetlejuice in probably 20 years.
You know what we're talking about? From Howard
No,
Stern?
he doesn't.
I would, dude. I couldn't listen to Howard Stern when I was a kid.
True. Beetlejuice is one of his regular character guests.
What do they call him?
He's just a midget. He's like a small little dwarf guy that has
Kind of retarded midget.
kind of like his teeth. He's got like big buck teeth,
Yeah, and he's real short.
short, and he's mental. Like he's silly. He talks about himself in the third person, I think, too.
Yeah, it's crazy. Howard Stern don't help. He
No,
No, he doesn't.
no, he's part of Howard's gang of
Whack Pack, they call him.
the Whack Pack. A bunch of fucking. It's just a freak show.
Yeah, that's what
It's a bunch of freaks that are fucking. Howard was good, man. Howard was. I really. That's I was so mad when he left terrestrial radio because I couldn't afford fucking Sirius back then. Like I couldn't. Like it was.
Yeah, I used to listen to him every morning when I
Yeah.
went to work about 5 in the morning.
Fuck yeah. And then it became. And then I got. Fucking the Canadian dudes with my other show.
89X, Dave and Chuck the Freak.
Yeah, after he left because it was like I'm not listening to Drew and Mike. They suck.
Yeah.
They suck.
Drew and Mike suck for sure.
Suck
Well,
ass.
now, 89X, they do one-on-one.
Yeah, I know.
Dave and Chuck the
I listen to 950 on the way to work, and then I listen to podcasts because then I can zero in on what I want to listen to. And
Yeah, I used to listen to him all the time in the morning.
I think Howard to me was more relevant. Relevant. That's the word. He was more relevant because he could get people on. Like the interviews were more topical.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone you could think of he had on. Where Dave and Chuck the Freak are just doing their.
But I couldn't listen to
They
him all
don't,
the
they don't do interviews.
No, they just do their daily, which is fine. I don't mind. Like that's a great setup, but at a certain point, I was just like, no, I don't need this anymore.
Well, they had like a whole open topic where I was listening to it on the way to work. But they spent a good 30 minutes explaining why they don't interview. Because they're fucking boring. Like, we're sitting there and you're trying to ask somebody information, but there are things they are allowed to say and things
Yep.
they are not allowed to say.
Yeah, when it's in that setting, there's too much publicist.
Yeah.
Because if they were able to do it like a fucking podcast, where they could just have a heart-to-heart conversation and
Yeah.
not worry about it, then it's one thing.
Exactly.
But
And
they're run like an actual radio station still.
they talked about how just, like, that there was one, whatever, the final one, they were just, it was boring radio for 15, 20 minutes that they're required to have. As we're supposed to be a fun, good, fun, whatever station. It was just bullshit. But the only good interview they've ever done was Steve-O. This is what they claim.
Devo.
Steve-O,
Yeah, from the other.
Jackass.
Jackass.
Yeah, from Jackass.
Again.
Oh, he's a nut.
Again.
Have you
Oh
seen-
my God.
Dude, he's like clean and sober these days too.
When they're talking about doing another Jackass.
He does a whole documentary on basically his life.
Dude, that is one of the funny, like,
That's a powerful documentary. Too.
really? But in my life, I can tell you this much. There's few times, maybe 3 or 4 times where I've laughed harder than I've laughed at all of their movies. There's at least one scene in their movie that gets me crying to the point where it hurts. It's like, I don't know what it is.
Going
It just,
through crocodile.
I don't know which one it is. I can't tell you. I can't remember which one it is, but I can just guarantee every time I've watched the Jackass movies, each one of them had one of those scenes where I just lose my mind because it's the dumbest, fucking,
stupid as
funniest
fuck.
shit I've ever seen. And it's just one scene, one time. The rest of it's funny, but it's just that funny.
Dude,
like,
now that I understand drugs, I would much rather. I'm going to now that I'm thinking about it. Go back and watch all the Jackass movies because at the time I didn't correlate drugs with what they were doing.
yeah,
But
no,
you
it's
look
all
at
drugs.
Steve-O and he's like, dude, I was pilled out of everything.
Well, you were
Yeah,
fucked up.
You
man.
could think about it. Like I couldn't even
They were
tell you my
fucked up.
drug.
They were just on the trip. They
Speed
knew
the
that
entire time.
I mean, you have to be on something.
stupider shit you did, the more money.
You have to
made.
be on something for stuff they were doing.
Fuck yeah, you do.
I mean, you're gonna staple your balls to your leg.
I mean, what did people expect to happen with the
Ah.
like? They're the original viral videos.
Really?
Yeah, they invented viral.
Yeah,
basically.
they were like, what can we do?
With a camera.
A camera that'll make everyone watch.
Because we don't have
Even
any,
if they don't want to see it, they're still.
because we
gonna
don't
watch
really
it.
have any talent.
Exactly. Our only talent is
Be a-
we don't mind pain.
Yeah, it'd be a
We can get drunk
crazy
enough
white boy.
that we don't feel pain. Exactly.
We could get so fucked up
white boys
that
on
we will
dope.
put ourselves
But they're
through
funny.
misery.
Tom, I'm sorry, Johnny Knoxville is fucking hilarious. There's some shit he does, and the reactions that you get out of him in the moments that he's in, that are just like, that's fucking.
Because a
hilarious.
couple of them died, right? The
no,
midget
one of them-
died.
No, the midget didn't
No,
die.
he's still around.
Wee Man's still around.
No, he's dead.
No. Mini Me died.
Oh, okay. No.
Vern Troyer.
No, I know he died.
I just saw Wee Man on Instagram.
Yeah, Wee Man's on it. Yeah, he's
Oh, okay.
still alive. He's with that fat guy still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No,
They
it was
posted
just
something together.
not Bam, but the other one.
The big fat guy.
No, it
The
was
guy that died in the car.
the guy. It was what's his name?
Porsche. Yeah.
Oh, you're fucking. Yeah.
He was one of the main
redhead guy.
ones.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, he died in just a normal quote unquote.
No, he didn't die in a normal fucking. He was
Yeah,
doing
I
like
mean-
140.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got in a car
Yeah.
accident. It wasn't for a Jackass skit.
No,
That's
no,
what
no.
I'm trying to say.
It's
You
just
just-
because he was a fucking cokehead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that dude had issues.
Did you hear about Run DMC?
No.
Remember one of them got killed?
Yeah, they think they found his murder.
No, they found him.
Yeah.
When did
Yeah.
he get killed?
They're
2000s?
Huh?
He died in the 2000s?
2002 or 2001. And they said they killed him because he was buying 10 pounds of cocaine.
Damn.
And they just wanted the cocaine
Yeah.
and the money?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean,
10 pounds of cocaine
That-
is a lot of money.
so I
Did
went.
he just admit to it?
The killers?
Yeah.
I went.
How did they catch the guys?
He's probably already in jail.
They just put him in jail. They just arrested him a couple days ago.
Oh, he probably guilt, or did he admit it to somebody and somebody turned him in?
I'm not sure.
It's probably he admitted.
They
it to
talked after. No, I think it sounds like some DNA shit.
Oh,
And then they confessed after they got
Okay.
him in there.
DNA. Okay, well, if there's DNA evidence, I'm cool with that. But if it's just a confession, even after the years, man, those.
It's two people, though.
Okay.
You know, if it was just one, yeah, but two.
No, dude, they can get. Remember, they got those 5 kids in New York to admit to a crime that they weren't even privy to existed.
Oh,
I
you
just
talking
watched that podcast too with those two dudes.
Yeah, isn't that fucking crazy?
It's fucking wild.
Dude, you
guy
got.
on
Did
the
you not
right is
listen
my
to that
dude.
Joe Rogan with the 2 guys that are busting people out of death row and shit? That is, if you don't know nothing about the criminal justice system,
That's what you need to watch.
you need to watch this because
Oh, I
it's
know
gonna
about
make you realize. No, you know what I mean. That if you have this false idea that it's a fair system,
No.
that there's fucking some justice in this fucking
Look who
country.
you're talking to, dude.
No, I know. I'm not even
Just to
talking.
say,
Hey, I'm talking to this thing.
I know.
So you have to listen to this episode because these guys tell you stories where you're just like,
Yeah.
Rogan cries. Half an hour in, he's fucking crying on camera.
No shit.
Yeah,
Never seen that before.
neither have I. But the story he was telling, you just like,
Just that moving. Huh?
it's amazing. No, it's just insane that this lady, like, how is she not in fucking jail? Like, how does the judge who did all this? You see this.
It's just there's like there's a guy who at this point you can clearly know was falsely framed, right? Wrong place, wrong time. But the judge keeps following his case, so the judge requests his case. So every time he
and
tries to get
keeps
there,
throwing out shit that's
boom, can knock him back in.
Yeah.
Because it's egotistical, it would say the judge.
Justice is blind.
Yeah, that's the thing. This will show you it's not. It's ego driven. It's very much driven by fucking profits and ego. More ego than anything else. Because, well, no, it might be profits too. Because If some of the
It's
shit gets
both.
turned over, no. If some of the
It's
shit
both.
gets turned over, or some of the sciences get fucking debunked that they're using, then the criminal justice system itself takes a huge hit, humongous hit, because then the people are going to go back and go, okay, well, I need to get the fuck out of jail because you just put me in jail for this. So a lot of people are going to get out of jail, which means they're going to lose a lot of income.
That's what's happening here right now.
What? With the weed?
In Detroit with the criminal justice system.
What do you mean?
Oh man, it's so many innocent people
In
Have
jail. Yeah, I
have
know.
been convicted for shit that they didn't do.
No, that's one of the biggest
They've been
problems they
set
talk
up.
about too. It's not even that. It's the bail bond system.
all of it.
The bail bond system is directly set up to keep people in jail.
Yes,
So what happens is people are in jail for 3 years before they see a court.
the girl that's running for prosecutor, she's gonna get rid of that.
She's gonna try. Good luck. People have been trying to get rid of that forever.
Somebody will. It'll
It's
happen.
gonna be tough.
It's a different time.
It's
man.
one of the ways they
Might be
make
Russia.
money.
I keep telling you, it's a different time now. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. There's a movement going on. Things about to change.
That's fine, but that movement's still getting fought against because they don't want to lose that revenue. That's
You
big
know-
revenue, man. That's why weed is not legal in the country.
You know something? If you get most people to believe in one thing, they can change stuff. That's all you need. That's all you need. A lot of people. That's what's going on in Belarus right now.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. People try to fight.
Yeah.
The problem is it's hard. That's where it's back to the elites fighting other
Well, they
elites.
said that the police are burning their uniforms and joining the people.
In Belarus, because that one dude said he won, and they don't believe he won because he's been the same president for years.
Since
Yeah.
90 something.
Oh yeah. So back to Winnie the Pooh.
Oh yeah.
Winnie the Pooh
Squirrel.
has a statement that he's going to bring every Chinese person out of poverty.
He
Okay.
will. He'll do it.
That's where the problem lies.
That's what it's
where-
going to change.
But that's where I feel like this country's going is the elites in our country now see that happening and understand that there needs to be a workforce to supply the demand that's going to come from that. And they want cheap labor is the only way that's going to happen. So how do you get cheap labor? You make people stupid by taking away their education. You constantly put them in jail. They use that as labor all the time. That's another thing that the prison system does. These private prisons are renting out their prisoners and then getting $12-15 an hour
Yeah.
while giving them $2.
$3 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which goes to the commissary
Mhm.
and doesn't even really pay off their fucking stay.
Mm-mm.
So it's
There's a lot of evil going on. A lot of evil.
yeah, it's gonna be rough to change it.
No, it'll change.
It'll change.
It might be rough, but it'll change.
We're talking about everything, man. It's confusing sometimes. I bash back and forth because I'm high. I gotta, what the fuck are you talking about now? Fuck, I don't even remember. This is about Winnie Pooh. Oh,
The
that's
Chinese.
because it's back to Africa. Africa is full of resources, and if
Full.
China builds the fucking system that the distribution system of those resources for those people, then they're just going to sell them to China at a cheaper price, and we're always going to get put up on the market as, you know, hey, you got to pay $50 more than this type shit if you
I
want it.
honestly believe that China, Russia, and U.S. all know aliens are real,
Oh yeah.
and that there's a civilized society
They know.
outside planet Earth,
They know.
and it's basically first person to conquer Earth is going to be what ushers in the next society. And Africa is the place that you need. And once you have Africa and your continent, you're unstoppable. And then the next person that tries to join in, they just say, all right, you're my wingman. Russia, you get to keep your name. You belong to China and the United States. We want all your resources.
I don't think China's going to put up with Russia either.
I don't know.
I think-
Regardless, China wins.
I know, but I'm just saying, I think China understands that Russia is a false sense of what it wants to be. It gives off that idea that the communist idea that the imperialists are the ones that are supposed to control everything. Because that's what, and I know that's what's happening in China, but at least China's putting off this false bravado that they're putting smart people in those positions. Where Russia is just like, yeah, we don't care. We put whoever we want to put in. It don't matter if you're my nephew who's never gone to fucking school or a dude who's a scientist. I'm going to put the nephew.
I say one more time.
What?
AI.
I
It's
know.
gonna solve all of that.
But what if fucking...
It's gonna solve all that shit.
What if China's the one that develops it first?
It don't make no difference who develops.
Because you know that's what TikTok... That's one of the reasons they wanted to ban TikTok from the U.S.
It doesn't
Because
matter who
TikTok was loading all the data it was gathering from all over the world into this centralized AI
Mm-hmm.
in order to teach it.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely one of the reasons they tried to stop it, because they didn't go technical with Trump. They went stupid with him. They went something to the degree of China's stealing something, but the reality is China was getting ahead in the AI game with that much data.
See, AI is going to take over.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take over. It's going to have to solve these problems.
Yeah, AI is eventually going to say the most realistic thing to do
Yep.
is just kill the human.
No, not kill them. No, not
Like,
kill
no,
them.
like seriously, they sit around and it's AI is just like you designed.
AI is going to let us live a good life over here. It's going to be like paradise. And AI is going to run everything. There's not going to be any wars, no discrimination.
AI is going to just
It's going to be
replace
like
humanity.
paradise, man.
It's just, that is kind of crazy. Did you know that me and him might be more genetically matched than me and you? That's humans, like you're more inclined to be genetically matched with someone that's not the same skin color than you are two people of the same skin color.
That's true.
Because the skin color is it's a minute, one little tiny gene that you're tall and huge. You know what I'm saying? I'm more his height, I guess I would say. Well, no, you're taller than me.
A little bit.
Yeah, but you're bigger.
We're like ding, dong, dong.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
And then ding down, way down low for cut.
Ooh, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I premise my dog. I take him to the park before it got dark.